celebrities, people who have all kinds of issues, their attitude and their difficult ways are accommodated when white America says this person is hot. When they on the news, when they got the hit song, when they doing all the whatever, they are accommodated regardless of how mean they are, regardless of whatever their issues may be. These people don't pay their staff sometimes. They treat people fucked up. They talk to people crazy. And guess what? Everybody accommodates them. It's the ones of us who have the audacity to open our mouths and say we don't like something, right? Whether or not, and I'm talking about saying it without even being nasty. And you like, I ain't even saying anything. I'm just like, yo, I'm cool. It's all good. What's up? Can I come? You know, you don't have the audacity to say that, but you damn sure don't have the audacity to talk about issues that intimidates their sponsors or their little friends or whatever it is. That's all I got to say. So you can take it from there.
I just get frustrated because for me, it's really just the hypocrisy. It's like, I don't know anybody who gets along with everybody. I don't know anybody who has ever been like, every workplace I worked at has been incredible. Like, I don't know anybody who challenges things, makes demands on what they are owed, that is called easy, right? Like, they will call you difficult for saying, hey, in the contract, it said and it don't have that here. So and the way that got flipped was crazy. Like, it really got turned into like, you were trying to tell us what to do. And I was like, I was trying to suggest because you asked. And then when I answered, it became, I don't know. A lot of times it really is like, I don't know. And a lot of times people also don't tell you in real time.
Right.
So they will now go behind your back.
Right.
And say whatever. And you're just like, but if you're not that kind of person, because I know you and I are this kind of person, we'll be like, hey, sis, I didn't appreciate XYZ. Like, we'll just approach it. Yeah. Absolutely. And it's not confrontation.
No.
It's not hostile.
That's
it's
right.
It's just let's meet it where it's at and cultivate a shift. And that then becomes, for a lot of people, that is considered an attack. For a lot of people. For a lot of people, even questions are considered an attack. Like, on that Essence shoot, I started asking questions. And it was considered, when I got there, she had only pulled one outfit.
Please don't get me started with that now. That's you going into a different direction that has to do with how people are, you can pay them and contract them to do work. Baby, You go ahead on and tell your story because I got another one to lay on you. But go ahead on.
So I was like, yo, is there any other outfits? And she was like, no. And I was like, okay. And I thought we were doing a photo shoot in a photo studio, and we were in a workspace in a WeWork. And they had bought like props. And I was just like, I'm trying to make it make sense. Okay. Now I saw somebody else here say it's not what you say, but how. Sometimes it actually isn't how you say it. It literally is just that you said anything at all.
Exactly, because I'm going to drill this point to the end of the world. I know I have been in space where celebrities, right, the big ones, walk in the room. They mean, they don't want to talk. If they do, they're rude. They are cold. I'm not talking about all celebrities, so let's not go whoever is going to post this tomorrow, as you and I talked about. Clip it. And Tamika Mallory says that celebrities are rude and nasty. I did not say that. I'm saying I know of some who can treat staff members and people who are working on sets and at events like complete shit. But if they are someone who is well known, someone who is respected by and acknowledged by the mainstream, they will accommodate that nastiness so that they can have them around. And I just want to throw this out there as well. Tamika Mallory and Amanda Seals, well, this person, my friend, told me flat out, you can't, certain things, people can't have you at because of sponsors and because of this and that. She told me that. I don't know if people telling you that. I don't know if that's the reason. Yeah. I'm just saying that's what she told me. She said, I was in the room. I heard the conversations. Yes. People wanted you there, but they cannot have you there because of this. Yep. But you can bring a motherfucker that's high as shit, drugged up, okay? Drugged out of their mind, prop them up, and bring them on the stage and allow them to perform, or somebody who, again, a brand, you got a big ass sign behind your head of from this brand to that brand. This brand over here doesn't treat their employees right. The black employees are calling for a boycott because it's this issue. This brand over here is serving our community sugary drinks and snacks and things that's literally killing us. This brand over here, the CEO is sponsoring the MAGA shit. This brand over here, those people, if they are allowed, they can come to your event. Absolutely. But to me, Tamika Mallory And Amanda,
And I love that for us. But like, what people don't understand is that people are like, well, Amanda, if there's always an issue in the space, then maybe it's you. And it's like, maybe it's the space. Maybe it's the space. Because once I changed the spaces that I went into, I didn't have issues no more. I got in trouble for telling a brother he was a revolutionary nigga on Insecure. I got in trouble for using the word nigga.
And they pay for nigga. Nigga, that's everywhere. They pay money for that word. It's just crazy.
I told a brother, like a Malcolm X quote, and I was like, who would have left that in my trailer? And he worked in the costume department, so I know that he sets my clothes. So I was like, is it? And I went and I was like, did you leave that Malcolm X quote in my trailer? And he was like, nah. And I was like, but you're the only revolutionary nigga here.
Oh Lord.
And he was like, I'm not a nigga.
Oh.
And I said, okay, I wasn't saying it to be offensive.
Okay.
I'm really trying to figure out who that was.
He had every right to say that. Cool.
Yes.
My bad. Apologize. 100%.
Wasn't saying it to be offensive. And I just moved on. And I was approached. You need to go, we need to deal with the incident that just happened with you and XYZ. And I was like, I'm sorry, the incident? what is the incident? And they were like, you eating edibles on set? Like, you doing negativities though.
Nigga, leave it to you to have a word. Negativity.
I say that though because to me, that's a difficult setting to be in. So to call me
place where it's like you don't really know the standard. Anything goes until it doesn't.
And certain people can say certain things and other people can say other things, but on metrics that you can't necessarily easily identify. You know what I'm saying? So that to me,
it's convenient for it to be an issue, then
yes,
it's an issue. And I'm all for the fact that sometimes people will use the word nigga to talk to refer to a black person who's like, I don't ascribe to that. Or, you know, and some, like, for instance, I remember when I first met somebody, Teslin, after a few weeks of me and her being cool, we was talking about something one day backstage of Revolt, and she was like, bitch, cause da-da-da-da-da.
And you're right? Like, I don't like
no,
that.
Actually, the opposite. I was like, bitch, that's right. But she immediately was like, yo, my bad, cause I just get passionate, and sometimes, now I was cool with it, but I could understand that another person might have been like,
hey, not a fan. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. But I think that it's like we are. have our stuff, and I think people have identity.
So now it shouldn't be used in professional spaces. But the question still, I'm just wondering, when does the professionalism begin? So if you are saying it as part of the show where people are getting paid, and the part of their getting paidism, their creativity is nigga this, nigga that, nigga whatever, because that's what you said is on there, then when you get offset, I guess y'all are saying that it becomes professional at that point. He says it's in the script only. Okay, well, I'm not going to debate this. Whatever you say. People don't want to be called nigga. They shouldn't be. That's it. Period.
And that's fine. And I think that, our Black spaces are unique. And I feel like the comfort that you want in a Black space should be different. As a Black person, like, we have a choice. Everyone has a choice on what they want to be called. You know what I'm saying? Like you were saying before, some people have no problem being called a bitch. Like, hey, bitch. Now, I know for me, I don't mind it from my familiar people that I know, but I'm not necessarily that keen on it when it's people I don't know. It's like even my nickname. Like, Mans, only certain people can call me Mans. Other people can't. And I also think there's something to be said for, and read my shout to Ty, she's saying something here too. This professionalism thing is a lot of times respectability. A different space than being in a like corporate office. It's not the same. It's an artistic space. And so when someone is like, trying to compare the two spaces, there's some of overlap, of course, but at the end of the day, like, this idea that I'm being unprofessional by speaking in my vernacular and giving someone a compliment is really, to me, bullshit. Like, I'm saying to somebody, because you the only revolutionary nigga here. You can tell by my and we go, okay,
I get it, but just don't please don't use that word when you're referring to me. Someone here said
you're not difficult, you're nasty. That was the one. That was something I wanted to address too.
This one, it was somebody that basically said, if everybody, this is the one right here. If everybody is saying it, there must be some truth to it. First off,
everybody's not saying
everybody is not saying it. So that's another thing. It's not an everybody thing. We are in, first of all, Black and far between. Let's just get that straight. Also, it only takes one or two people to communicate to the others, because, by the way, most of the team members that I know have been at every place. They worked at Essence, they worked at BET. Next thing you know, they at Revolt. They over here. Now they are a freelancer. It's over here. They got their own business. They've been everywhere. And I support many of them. And some of them are youngins that have come up in, and I worked with them and I've watched them grow. It's the same people. So it only takes a bad encounter, even if it was their fault.
Say it again.
Even if it was their fault. 2 times. 1 time. For it to become a thing that everybody's saying because they spread it around or they take it from place to place with them. This is what I want, because you're so brilliant. You're so brilliant. And I really want you to speak to this particular point, because what I am not understanding is, why is it that it is okay is it money? Is it your value that you can be difficult in terms of like for me, I don't wear Nike at all, right? I stopped wearing Nike after Kyrie Irving's contract was canceled with them because they tried to say he did all the shit. He did everything. He apologized. He spent the money.
Yeah,
they donated. Apologized again. Went on TV. Was ridiculed every night. He did all the things they said, and he's another one. Everybody says he's difficult. He's problematic. But guess what I noticed? This is what I noticed, right? And I when I say I don't wear Nike, I'm talking about there is not a shred of it around. The other day, I was looking for some sweatpants to work out in, and I was like, damn, I got these one ass pairs of like Nikes, and I put them shits in the trash. I don't wear them and I never will again. I values, I cut it off and I don't go back. I don't give a fuck. That's just what I do, right? It's my little protest. But what I want to say here today is that what I notice is there are difficult people who will say absolutely nothing about a ceasefire, what's happening to the Palestinian people. They won't call out Joe Biden. They won't do those things, but they're still difficult. And guess what? They're accepted and respected. But Kyrie and us, right? He just using him as an example, right? Mm-hmm. He's so difficult, and he happens to also be on radical black issues. Am I bugging? Is this a coincidence, or is it just me?
No, it's not just you. I mean, that's always been the case. I mean, we our lives being difficult.
I'm just saying.
Like, you want to talk cancel culture? Assassination is cancel culture.
Absolutely.
Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Medgar Evers, they attempted to assassinate Shirley Chisholm 11 times. Absolutely. Just for running for president. Just for even put me in the mix. Just put me in the mix. So, yeah. I mean, speaking about anything,
but now everybody, including Chuck Schumer, is on ceasefire, and he's the highest ranking Jewish person in the entire freaking government, the federal government, and he's on it. And so now I see people, and I'm cool with it. If you need the white folk to say it, or the cool people, or the big timers to say it, and then you could slide in there and start, you know what? Even if your voice shakes, speak out. I'm with you. I'm not. I am not, but a speech. Every single speaking engagement that I had canceled. Every single one of them canceled. Thank God I don't depend on speaking engagements alone for my life. I have other ways that I make money and take care of myself. But every single speaking engagement that I had was canceled. People had all kinds of stories and issues. The budget, this happened, this changed. We sorry. We would be to the point of a contract is signed, everything is good, and then all of a sudden actually can't do it. My bad. Blah blah blah. And I'm a person. Black History Month, Women's History Month. I work all the time. This is the thing. And nothing, because people, they're calling the schools or they're calling this place, and they don't have to do that. All people need to do is see that you are talking about something that's a little scary to them, or feel like whatever you doing might be whatever.
Listen, I had an agent tell me straight up, it's like, I don't have a problem working with you, but I feel like I'm supposed to.
Sure, you told me that.
I feel like I'm supposed to. My book agent dropped me a week after my book deal got signed. So it's not about the money. I'm writing my book for Simon and Schuster right now. You know,
Me too.
My
Every day, I wake up and check the email, like when they gonna say the bullshit about gotta take this out, don't do this, don't do that. Every day, but thankfully they actually do give voice to people.
My publicist said, what did my publicist say? Oh, the company's restructuring. I pay you. I pay you. How does it? But it's a very it can be very exhausting and taxing, and that's why it's really dope that me and Tamika have a relationship like this, because you need other people to talk to. And I just need y'all to understand it is different having to worry not just about your, well, not necessarily worry, but having to be conscious of your life.
Absolutely.
Conscious of the world, and then conscious of how the world is conscious of your life. Will take their own lives because it's like, feel it, because it's energy and it's real. And so many people are willing to like throw negative energy at spaces that they're not even in. They don't even have any like I will see people say things to you and I'm like, why are they so mad?
Girl, it be coming from their stomach. The soul be on me. Like they were they was on your page telling me for 2 days. They still telling me, how could you come up here and just throw it in her face? And they think they're defending you against your friend. Woo! They be big mad. Your phone, you went out for a minute. Top of spawn, let me see. Man, I've had mad cancellations because, oh Lord, told me, I see you. I see what you're saying, but I know they will take my words and put it on every platform and every.
They do it all the time.
So I'm not going to repeat it, sir, but I see you.
They do it all the time. I mean, I think that there's just too much energy around okay, so for instance, like that Essence article today, right? Who knows if she even really feels that way? But there's a clickbait in there. So regardless of if she even has those feelings, there's a drive for the clickbait because right now I'm a topic. So like there's so many things that will lead folks into being a part of like BS
right.
that don't even have necessarily anything to do with the actual like situation. But I do know that when I see people like Kyrie Irving considered difficult, I'm like, have you ever spoke to Kyrie Irving?
I love him. He's amazing. He's amazing. If something like, hey, we're headed to blank place, it's gonna be difficult. We trying to get housing or whatever. Before I could even call Kyrie, it's a donation. Right. He does not. If you call him, he probably won't even answer the telephone because he's not interested in the story about the thing and the thing and the thing. I know you appreciate me. When I got it, you got it. When I don't, you don't. And that's that. And I'm like that. I don't need a whole lot of conversation to do things for people and to be, to do whatever. And listen, we are not sitting here suggesting that we're perfect people who never did anything wrong, never said the wrong thing, hurt the person's feelings. We come on, we all know.
You know what's also interesting? Think about how many people we come across on a daily basis compared to most folks.
Absolutely. Every minute. You're not always on your best. You're just not.
In one night of me doing stand-up, I'm in front of an audience, and then if my meet and greet is sold out, I ended up meeting 200 people in one night. Literally 200 people individually. 200 people. I can try my best. I don't know if I'm gonna be what I don't know that I'm gonna make all 200 of those people feel happy, right? Feel seen, right? You know, like I don't know that, you know, like I don't know. And I have had where somebody just felt away. Yeah, they felt away. And then you hear about it later. And you're like, I watch people walk away from me sometimes and I see them leaving with a look on their face. But then it's like this to be feeling. I be feeling like, you know, I have like it means the world to me that you were saying that. It means the world to me. It means the world to me, Tamika, because a lot of times people will defend you in your DMs. They'll text you. Oh, that's every day. I see you. You know how many I've gotten so many phone calls and texts over the past few days. I see you. Thank you. Like people that I know, right? But do you think they're publicly like, yo, leave Amanda alone. She's fly. She's dope. She's, you know, she's kind. Like, you think they doing that? You think people are like, Amanda donated to my XYZ. The amount been that way. When we went through the donation list from something. I don't know what we were doing. And Linda hit me like, yo, you know Amanda just gave us $5,000? I'm like, shit, Amanda's a single woman, living on her own, ain't got no man to back her up. It's serious when you give people $5,000. That's serious money, $5,000. And you have done it more than once and have been doing it for a long time. And I do the same thing. I ain't got 5,000 to give one person out of my pocket, but I'm definitely the $2,500. And I take that back because I said it wasn't that I was trying to defend you, because I don't, you know, sometimes people are funny about that. Like, I need to be defended. I'm not, da-da-da. But you're right. It does feel good. And I have, over time, a few people have spoke up for me. And it matters a whole lot because I've been in situations I could start crying, child. I'm going to get myself together before I even finish. But I just want you to know that I have been in space and I've watched people that I work with. I've watched people I work with, people I serve, people I have this woman she was given the New York Times as a platform. Her voice was uplifted, and we lost a whole lot of shit on the word of this one white woman. And this before they named them Karen. This is a new thing. This is before that, when this woman's tears, oh, they did this to me, da 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 da. She went out and did that, and I watched that woman walk next to black people in a march, and they stand with her, and I called these black people and told them, you remember this? Do you remember this article? Do you remember this lady? She's a liar. This is what she did to me. And oh, sis. And you know what? Half of those people stopped talking to me because I was upset. They stopped talking to me because I was upset. They made me the problem, and they invited that woman to be a part of a march that was for the anniversary of Dr. King's I Have a Dream speech. She was walking with them, a white woman.
years, these same people jump up and run to go stand next to happened to me. These people turned their back on me. They stopped talking to me. They called me out. They said I was all of these different things. They said fuck me when it came to them being able to unite with this white woman. So I'm just saying that, and then but there were black people, and by the way, this particular year we had another march somewhere else. And it was small. I mean, there was a lot of young people that came, but it was small. Not a lot of people showed up. But the ones that came over there, even if they went to the other march on the other side of town, they still made it their business to come and be with us. And I will never, ever, ever forget those people, because by them showing up, what they were saying is, listen, I hate this division. I hate whatever it is, but we're not going to just leave you hanging. I had people tell me, nah, I'm a beat it, I'm a beat it, I'm a beat it, I'm a beat it, and they went over to the other shit and didn't come. I'm the type of bitch. It could be, yep, I said I'm the type of bitch that it could be one chair next to you and I'm gonna come sit in the shit and be like, well, we just gonna sit here, me and you. Fuck it, this is what it is.
All we got is us.
That's what we I never really looked into what that is all about or why people say it, but they say it all the time.
I was approached by a brother on Instagram who was hollering at me. And I asked a friend, I said, yo, I was talking to this dude. And when I told her who it was, she was like, I think my homegirl was talking to that dude. And then we called her homegirl, and her homegirl was like, he is on this bullshit. And she said what the bullshit was. Then I went on the breakfast like, ooh, that's tough. And the stories ranged. The stories ranged, and they all said him by name. I still have all the texts. They all said him my name. And I had a crisis of conscience, Tamika, because it was like, if all these people are able to name someone that I didn't even name, and they're all saying the same thing, if I feel like I'm like low-key complicit in not saying like, hey, because that person came in my DMs. And that's, right? But I'm older. I was older at the time, so the forwardness didn't make me feel like I'm being liked. Whereas in the past, like someone pressing me, like, yo, you gonna come, you're gonna come, you're gonna come visit me, you're gonna come visit me. Like, I actually might have fallen to that, right? Like,
what you say? But it's too much when the man says, I can't love you because you're too much for me. And then you said, you'd be like, no, 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 no. We could figure this out.
we can build the tool. Amanda Seales admits to lying about sexual assault with a black man, which I never accused anyone of sexually assaulting me, and I never admitted to lying because I didn't lie. So there's no admission. But people didn't even see a video of me saying that or anything. They literally just saw his headline, and to this day, it has gone from that to Amanda Seales falsely accuses a man of rape. It's gone to that. And to this day, I mean, that out the way that you desire it to, but the intention is there. And that's why when people talk about Jussie Smollett and they're so mad, I'm like, well, what was his intention? If his intention was to waste the Chicago PD's time, I just don't know why we have such a problem. Like, that to me, if that was the intention, was to waste their time, I feel like, why would we not want to waste the Chicago PD's time?
Well, we don't really know, though, right? Like, we don't know what the intention was. And I guess the rule of thumb is that our communities are beat down and we lie about everything. We're scammers. We have so many issues that anytime a Carly Russell type of situation pops up, people are going to be concerned, frightened, upset, and everything else because they feel like, when we have real situations, we need to be believed, we need to be respected. And, and I'm not a supporter of Carly Russell's, but I certainly have said to people, you telling me to free Tyrone right now, Tyrone killed people, and you calling my phone telling me he did it, but you got to understand his background. When he was a kid, he did this thing, and his uncle molested him, and then this happened, and his father left, and this and that, and I know it ain't right, but but he just try to help me because they trying to give him 50 years, and 50 years is too much for the drugs, or too much for the this, or too much for the murder, or too much for the whatever. Free Johnny. And we could be with Free Johnny, but old Carly over here did something that nobody was harmed at all, and we want her to go to jail for the rest of her life. That's with the energy that I was getting.
But that's my energy with like someone like Jussie.
Like, oh yeah, I don't believe that Jussie should be sitting in jail. I think that
people are like, he was a bad look for all of us, and I'm just like, Jussie Smollett was a bad look for the black race.
Listen, I don't think a bad look for the black race, because like that, we own our people shit. If we see another black person with a bonnet on in the airport and some pajamas, we be like, Lord have mercy, just look at this. Everybody's gonna look at
don't say that. Don't say that, because you're going to have them in here like, that's none of your business.
No, I'm just saying that I know people feel that way. And I have felt that way. I have felt that way if I'm in a restaurant, in any kind of freaking restaurant. I don't care if it's the chicken spot, because in the hood, in the chicken spot, they walk in, yo, what's up? We need something. I want a center breast. I need 2 center breast. And it's like, bro, just Relax. Bring it down. But if I'm sitting in the middle of blah blah restaurant and somebody is being loud and obnoxious and whatever the case may be, I have had the cringe of like, please do not make these people feel whatever. But the thing is, I go places all the time where white people are acting out. And guess what white people do? We gonna go there. Then, how, what's your thing? Then Amanda should be invited to the events. Because guess what? Going forward, when I'm invited, I'm going to at least ask you if you want to be my plus one. You going to be my date. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit ain't cool. Like, nah, we not going to sit here and allow the narrative